Time for Countdown's number 2 story tonight's worst persons in the world. The bronze to Sean Hannity, demagoguing live from California's Central Valley. He accused the administration and radical environmentalists of causing a drought there in order to protect the fish called the Delta smelt.
Today, their water is gone, shut off by the government. With all the money being spent on a failed stimulus, health care reform, and bailing out Wall Street banks, the solution here is relatively simple. Turn the water back on.
The Department of the Interior turned the water back on the 30th of June. The pumping restrictions ended nearly 3 months ago. You missed it, Sean. So too did the Washington Times, Molken, the Wall Street Journal editorial page, the rest of the morons' echo chamber. Check the water you're standing in, Sean. There's a shark in there that you just jumped. Runner-up Chuck Norris describes the 9/12 washout as a, quote, revolutionary movement and writes that to keep it going, you should take down your heathen, modern American flag, quote, over the next year. Post the 13-star Betsy Ross flag, Navy Jack or Gadsden flag, don't tread on me, or any representation that tells the story of old glory and makes a stand for our founders' vision of America. If you insist on posting a modern USA flag, too, then get that one that is tea-stained to show your solidarity with our founders. Stain the U.S. flag? Deliberately desecrate old glory? Why does Chuck Norris hate the American flag? But our winner, Lonesome Rhodes Beck, quoting, praising, embracing Article 1, Section 9, Clause 1 of the Constitution, which reads, Section 9, the migration or importation of such persons as any of these states now existing shall think proper to admit shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year 1808, but a tax or duty may be imposed on such importation not exceeding $10 per each person. You know what that part of the Constitution was about? Glen doesn't. That's right, he writes. The founders actually put a price tag on coming to this country, $10 per person. Apparently they felt like there was a value to being able to live here. Not anymore. These days we can't ask anything of immigrants, including that they abide by our laws. Glenn, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 1 of the Constitution, it's a little confusing. It is, after all, 18th century legalese. But the key word in there is at the start. The migration or importation of such persons. Importation of persons? Buying slaves from other countries. The clause Beck thinks has something to do with a price tag on coming to this country was in fact a clause that made it illegal to ban the importation of slaves until at least 1808. But it gave Congress the right to tax a slave owner $10 for each new slave he brought in. This is the fool who thinks he is Thomas Paine or Thomas Jefferson or somebody, or he thinks he and he alone is interpreting the meaning of the founders of the country. And he thinks a clause requiring the continuation of slavery and making it constitutional for one American to own another is about immigration. This guy may well be the dumbest man on the planet.